of sports, home of the World and U.S. Figure Skating Championships.
In Week 1, Michelle Kwan kicked off the season by winning her 7th Skate America title and her 4th in a row. Today, the second stop in the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating brings us north of the border to historic Quebec City for Skate Canada. The spotlight once again shines on one of America's top stars. Sasha Cohen, the two-time U.S. silver medalist, makes her season debut on the Grand Prix circuit. After an off-season coast-to-coast move and a change of coaches, the 18-year-old looks ready to step into an even loftier echelon among the world's elite. Here, she faces the reigning world bronze medalist, Fumie Saguri of Japan, and the extremely talented Victoria Volchkova of Russia. In the men's event, Canadian fans have pinned their hopes on the enigmatic Emmanuel Sandhu. The 21-year-old looks to keep his nerves in check and win his first ever Grand Prix gold medal. The ladies and the men take the ice at Skate Canada, next on ABC Sports. ISU Grand Prix Series of Figure Skating, telecast presented by Olay. Quebec City, the capital of Canada's largest province and the cradle of French civilization in North America. It is without question one of the most spectacular urban settings on the continent. High atop a cliff overlooking the St. Lawrence River, the Old Town section is a lively mix of history, architecture, bistros, and boutiques, all with a touch of old world French charm. A world-class host city for Skate Canada. Along with Peggy Fleming, Dick Button, and Peter Carruthers, I'm Terry Gannon. Today, the men and the ladies skate for gold, with the men taking the ice first. Now, this is the second stop in the series. There are 6 in all. Skaters can compete up to 3 times in the series, with 2 counting in the standings. When it's all over, the top 6 in each discipline move on to the Grand Prix final in St. Petersburg, Russia, which we'll have for you on ABC Sports on March 15th. The hometown kid, Emmanuel Sandhu, on the ice right now. The 2001 Canadian champ. He is the leader after the short program. And let's check the standings heading into the free skate. Sandhu trying to win for the first time ever on the Grand Prix circuit, ahead of Takeshi Honda of Japan and Stanik Jeanette from France in third. Derek Delmore taking the ice, the 23-year-old from Fort Washington, Maryland, who skates out of Alexandria, Virginia now. Derek Delmore, the 98 World Junior Champion.
Music, The West Side Story, Leonard Bernstein.
In 8th place after the short program. That's where he finished at Skate America.
A graduate of Stanford and a Paderewski Medal winner, piano playing. Triple axel, forward edge. Good one. Elegant skater. Interesting moves that go into the various jumps that he elects to do, like this quad salchow coming up. Double-footed. was another triple axel. Not as happy a one.
This is the first time since '98 Derek Delmore has been on the Grand Prix circuit. This is his second and final Grand Prix event this season. Had a few years of disappointing results, and remember, he was attending Stanford, had a double major, but now he's solely focused on skating.
See here is more energy and more fire and speed in his skating. It sometimes has a tendency to be slower. Very nice triple jumps. These moves in the field of Bauer. Spread eagle, chain, spread eagle. Good combination. Now this final combination, first at camel, good sit spin position, good side position, back sit spin, and a back scratch with the hands over the head. Could have held that longer and gained his speed there and an impact, although the audience, I must say, likes the ending of his program, and they really respond very well to him.
He finished stronger than he began, didn't he?
Absolutely. And that's very hard to do and very good to do, because the first thing you remember is the last thing you see the skater do.
Especially the judges. That's the last thing they remembered.
Now here are the two triple axels that he had in the program. The first rate. Good stretched legs, nice landing. The second one, much more of a problem on the outflow. The step up good, the turn's good, but it was the landing that he was leaning to the center of the circle and couldn't hold it.
Remember, there is a new interim judging system being used this year by the ISU. Up to 14 judges being used for each event. Here there are 10. 5 to 9 of those actually count. Here at Skate Canada, the number is 7. A computer randomly selects which 7 judges' marks actually count, and then the marks and the placements are displayed in ascending order, and the judges are anonymous. Shirley Hughes has been his coach, first and only coach. That's unusual in this sport.
And a nice sense of confidence to see and respectability between the two of them.
First set now for Technical Merit Dick, 4.3 to 5.3, a wide range.
Well, they're not the best marks, technical marks, because of the mistakes that he made.
Now presentation marks 4.5 to 5.4, and 4 first places, a second and a couple of thirds from the judges. And in terms of those that have skated in the free skate, he is on top. When we come back, the 2002 World Junior Bronze medalist, the 19-year-old Stanislav Timchenko, skates next. River here in Quebec City. It was over 400 years ago that French fur traders and explorers sailed right down this river, and eventually Champlain founded the city in 1608. And there's one thing that's certain about those early settlers.
they must have been cold. I mean, they had to be really cold because it's only November and it is awfully chilly here already. Hi again, everybody. Terry Gannon back with Peggy Fleming and Dick Button. And Dick, you skated here in Quebec City, right?
Well, you know, like that wonderful song, "Ah, yes, I remember it well." It was back in 1947, if you can believe that far back, right after World War II. And I was a very young man, and I skated an exhibition here with Canada's Olympic skating star, Barbara Ann Scott. And even then, the Canadian audience was just like it is today, the world's most enthusiastic skating audience of all. I remember it very well.
Well, the men's event underway. The ladies take the ice a little bit later, but Alexei Yagudin was supposed to be here, the Olympic champion, but he's out with a stress fracture in his hip. Timothy Gable is out with a hip injury. We've seen a rash of injuries already this season. What's going on?
Well, the whole problem of injuries is really a very distressing element in skating, and I think it's caused by two things. Number one is the constant pounding of triple and quadruple jumps, and particularly when it's combined with a poor technique, it can be lethal. And the second thing is the length of the skating season. It begins in earnest in late September and goes clear through April. And then the skaters take on a tour that goes as many as 80 cities and into August. And then they have to start learning new programs and new moves for the next year. There's no downtime. Even football players and baseball players have a 4 to 6 month off-season period of time to recuperate. It's very distressing. I just hope that Alexei and Sarah Hughes will be able to come back to the skating season before the year is out.
That's the point. There is no off-season anymore.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned Sarah Hughes. She is still out with a slight muscle tear behind her knee. But Peggy, the star so far has been an American here at Skate Canada, Sasha Cohen, who had a major shift in the offseason. She moved from John Nix to Tatiana Tarasova, and now she's working under the Russian system.
Well, Terry, she looks absolutely stunning this season so far. It's like, you know, she's behind the wheel of a Ferrari, and, you know, she's sleek, she's beautiful, she's fast, but sometimes all of that kind of slips away from her and gets out of control. But in the short program, she was absolutely wonderful. She had everything. She had the extension, she had the speed, she had the jumps and the drama, but she lost her focus in the footwork section and fell, but she is still the leader going into the free skate. And I think her switch to Tarasova was a really good one. I think Tarasova has already started to work her magic on Sasha, and I think she is ready to explode onto the scene this season.
Don't forget, this is only stop number 2 in the Grand Prix Series. Next week, we go to Europe. We'll be in Gelsenkirchen, Germany for the Nations Cup competition next Sunday at 2 Eastern on ABC Sports Championship Television.
Meanwhile, the men's free skate here at Skate Canada continues with a new name on the scene, Stanislav Timchenko from Russia. Last year, he did very well on the Junior Grand Prix circuit. He won the Junior Grand Prix final. This year, whole new level, but he's holding his end of the bargain. He's in 4th after the short.
That's an interesting variation. Nice centering, unusual leg position. It's a triple axel, triple toe combination. Very nice straight up revolutions in that jump. There's a solidity in his skating which is quite intriguing. Not particularly graceful or unusual or difficult choreographically, but there's a good sort of solid constancy in it. And you know, sometimes the guy who wins is the one who makes the least mistakes. And look at these very unusual turning moves into that. Camel spin.
Top three, Emmanuel Sandhu, Takeshi Honda, and Zdeněk Janет still to come. So Timchenko's got a long way to go to win the gold, but who knows? Oh. He won the bronze medal at the 2002 Junior World Championships.
Very Russian to pick this kind of music. Jesus Christ Superstar, Andrew Lloyd Webber. They always sort of like very dramatic and heavily serious music. Triple flip jump. Spread eagle in a serpentine design. These triples are all very, very steady. Now that one he popped right out of. He's done 7 out of 8 triples so far. Every one of them has been steady except for the last. Circular footwork, mini spread eagles. Final combination spin. Cannonball position. This is kind of a little bit rough. He's not getting the speed that he should be, or the blur. Look at the travel there. He just doesn't have that under control. A little bit of drama at the end.
And he may have run out of gas.
I don't think so. I shouldn't have said that. It looks as though he did, Terry.
He's huffing and puffing right now.
Well, you know, you deserve to be. That was a lot of triple jumps he did, and it was very steadily done, and there was a nice quality about it, even though it wasn't wildly imaginative or graceful, or there wasn't wonderful edging in it, and it was sort of stilted, but there was, underneath it all, a nice quality.
Only 19 years old from Moscow, Stanislav Timchenko.
Well, his program, just like this triple Lutz, steady and serious. Watch here now as he taps into it. Good stretched leg, very easy. I mean, he didn't struggle on that one for one little bit. And he did a whole slew of wonderful triple jumps. This one was not his most successful. Watch him pop open right out of that. And the one mistake.
Whether you like his skating or not, that's a personal choice. But you got to give him credit for what he's come in to do here and keeping it all together his first year.
Well, I've got to tell you, I liked his skating. I thought it was honest and clean, and it could use some imagination.
5.3 to 5.6 for technical merit. And now the second set, the presentation, 5.2 up to 5.5.
And they're justified. Nice, likable cello.
Into first place, Timchenko. We're coming back with Takeshi Honda of Japan. He made a move last year and captured the bronze medal at Worlds. But first, Susie Wynn takes a look at the use of a harness in figure skating.
I've always wanted to do a double axel. Never could do them. So I'm going to try with this harness. Whoa! Thank goodness I've got a bodyguard. You need help when you're learning new jumps. Thus, the harness. Some skaters use a harness as a teaching tool to take them from a double jump to a triple jump to get the feel of the rotation. Now it's time for the skater to push their limits. With the safety of the harness, they're able to do this without getting injured. the harness has many practical purposes, but I like it for flying. Whoa!
Taking the ice right now in second place after the short program. He's got his eyes on the gold medal. Takeshi Honda. Let's get a quick report from Peter Carruthers.
Yeah, Terry, Takeshi Honda's got a blister on his right heel caused by breaking in new boots. His coach Doug Lee said they might freeze it after the warm-up, but they elected not to do that. Freeze it with a shot, that is. It's his landing foot, so we'll have to keep an eye on that to see how this affects him.
Reigning world bronze medalist, four-time national champion of Japan.
Oh, good height on that. Rather wild landing, but it certainly was. Got a good extension in the air with it. It's one of the few that's been completing quadruples, but this is where it'll come. If it's going to be a quadruple toe loop, triple toe loop combination would be the ultimate. Oh, a wonderful quadruple toe loop. Also planned a quadruple Salchow next. 4 revolutions from a back inside edge. Right here, watch him turn to that. Oh, beauty, a beauty, beauty. Camel spin. Now watch him jump over into a back sit spin. You don't see variations on spins as much as you used to. That's because they take so much energy. Now this, a triple axel, triple toe combination. He doubled, the edge going into that just skidded right off, and he popped it open into a double.
The only man in this field that knows what it's like to win a Grand Prix gold medal. He won the NHK trophy the last couple of years. And remember, he does train here in Canada.
Now in practice he had a great additional quadruple toe up. He replaced that with a triple axel, but also fell out of the landing. Exhausting to do these triple jumps, and you know, if you're not set up exactly right and with the music, if that helps you or supports you, you can be off just a fraction and it can upset the motion and the coordination of the jump. That sometimes explains why one jump works beautifully and the next one doesn't. Concentration is the other reason. The straight line footwork, not really completing that. It wasn't good enough, it wasn't long enough, it wasn't difficult enough. Rushes through it. Nice triple Lutz. Death drop with good height. What this move means going into this, but here we see a running butterfly into a butterfly back sit spin Back sit spin, not really all the way down. Well, I've got to tell you, that program had some awfully strong jumps in it. A couple of mistakes that he made, but the bulk of it was a good comeback for him. Some of the program, I'm not sure whether it helps him or not, but there were some nice athletic endeavors in that program.
Two of the top contenders still to come, but that may have been a gold medal performance for Takeshi Honda.
Now, Honda's quadruple Salchow was a beauty. Back inside edge, good stretch, everything just fine, neat, clean landing. Unfortunately, on this triple axel, it wasn't quite as successful. It got all the revolutions, got good height, but couldn't control the landing. Right there, and he fell out.
It was the first time ever that he's landed a quad toe and a quad Salchow in one program. I guess the blister didn't hurt him at all. Now the first set of marks. The technical merit, 5.6 to 5.8, Dick.
Oh, those are very strong marks, and they reflect the fact that he did so many triples and quadruples, even though there were mistakes there.
He's had a history of injuries that he's had to overcome. His shoulder popped out of the socket a couple of weeks ago. He popped it right back in, dealing with that. Presentation, 5.6 to 5.8. All first places from the judges. Takeshi Honda has the lead. Emmanuel Sandhu was brilliant in the short program, the quad triple combination. He'll take the ice after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Brilliant, and the ladies will take the ice in a little bit. Right now it's Takeshi Honda with the lead. The last two skaters can win the gold medal, and the first one to take the ice here is from Canada, Emmanuel Sandhu, the 2001 national champion. He's had a history of blowing up in the free skate after great performances in the short programs.
But he is the most exciting skater in the world today. The drama there is phenomenal. The consistency isn't. This his quadruple plan right here. See, there's just not a consistency there. But look at the, I mean, while he's skating, enjoy the rest of it, because the stretch of the legs, the speed, the drama of the skating is really magnificent. Triple axel. Triple toe, but he fell out of that. Lutz jump. He's one of the most original skaters in the world today. There's a fleetness to his skating and a sharpness and a danceability to it. Look at the way he moves here.
He spent 8 years at the National Ballet School in Toronto.
And it shows because it registered.
Emmanuel is from Richmond Hills, Ontario, the same hometown as Elvis Stoico. His mother is from Rome. His father is from India. They met here in Canada.
double instead of a quadruple. He needs this triple axel. Nope, leaning way out. He landed it, but on an inside edge. And I guess he'll get pretty much full credit for that, even though it wasn't quite perfect.
Dick, you said when he took the ice, he's the most exciting skater in the world today. Do you include Alexei Yagudin in that?
Totally different. This is much more imaginative, much more unusual, much different in a different way. Both of them are A+. Mm-hmm. Good combination. Now he's pulling off some moves. If this guy gets moving and can stick with it. Now watch this straight line footwork. Spin. Watch the moves here. Watch the positions. This is a great position. Back camel. Back sit spin. Illusion spin. And a back cross foot. This program not quite as effective as his short program, but still very good. Interesting, unusual, something always extraordinary.
Looking for confirmation from his coach, Joanne McLeod, and he got it. The hug at the end, and he gained momentum as the program went on.
He's an erratic skater. He rises and falls with no consistency, but he's always entertaining and he's always interesting, and that's, I think, most important.
And it's a standing ovation here in Quebec City for Emmanuel Sandhu.
Now, look at this right here as he toe picks this quadruple into it. Unfortunately, doesn't hold the landing, and that's a marring statement to open the program with. But there were so many other good triples that it was worth it. There's another triple axel, triple toe loop, but he popped out of the second part. It's really an astounding skater when he gets his act together. And here, look at this. Triple flip. Triple toe was really very good.
Was it enough, or did the early mistakes cost him the gold medal? The first set, 5-4 to 5-7, and those are lower than Honda's.
Well, you know, whatever it is, you got to say good for you, Sandhu, because it was an entertaining program and an interesting... And you really had your mind on it. He kept you alive with it.
And the presentation marks, Dick, much higher.
Yes, but...
Two of the 7 judges putting him in first place, but obviously that is not enough. Sandhu in the second behind Takeshi Honda.
Yep.
There's just one skater left here in the men's free skate. Stanik Jeannet, the 2-time national champion of France, takes the ice when we come back. Germany for the third stop of the ISU Grand Prix Series of figure skating. Scheduled to compete in Germany, Olympic silver medalist Yevgeny Plushenko, the 2-time world bronze medalist Michael Weiss, and Japan's Fumie Seguri, the Nations Cup competition, next Sunday at 2 Eastern on ABC Sports Championship Television. To this point, Takeshi Honda has enjoyed the best free skate among the men on the strength of a quad toe and a quad salchow in one program. Emmanuel Sandhu took the ice feeling the weight of all the Canadian pressure. He turned it on midway through, but early mistakes may have cost him a title. So it comes down to this. Right now, Takeshi Honda on top. Sandhu in second, but Stanique Jeannette from France has a chance to win the gold.
Stanique Jeannette is a skater very much in the French tradition and an individual flair. I mean, who can forget the names of Dubieff and Laurent Tobel and Surya Bonali and Philippe Candeloro? The question is this right here, and was supposed to have been a quadruple. It turned out to be a triple that was off angle. Now that wasn't a mark down, but he needs this triple axel. Oh, good one, good landing, but then the edge just slipped right out.
If you're Jeannette now, do you feel the need to add a quad?
You can't tell what he's thinking. That's one of the danger points of these programs. You change the choreography as you're doing it, and that's not a very good way to handle anything. It's a triple flip. Nice. Unusual sit-spin position.
Last year was a disastrous one for Stanique Jeannette. He came to the French National Championships as the two-time defending champion and ended up 5th. Did not make it to the Europeans or to the World Championships. Or the Olympics, obviously.
Axel. He doesn't need that kind of move. That should have been more than the double axel that it was. That was supposed to have been a triple, but it became a double loop.
And perhaps
I'm not quite sure where all these moves are going.
Dickey may be in danger of not even making it to the podium.
Well, this is this is a program that you sometimes where what the point is and where it's going. But like Sandhu, he's always interesting to watch. He fell right out of that triple Salchow. The hands on the hip. I don't know whether he wants to add anything to the hands on the hips statement.
It may have been interesting, but interesting isn't always good.
One of the things about him, he's always interesting to watch, and that's what makes skating very good. He doesn't always get his technical moves like that triple axel just slipping right on out.
Well, just a moment ago, Stanik Jeanette gave the choke sign in the kiss and cry area, and he knows it was a blown opportunity.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes.
4.6 to 5.5. The first set. And now the second set for presentation, 5.2 to 5.7. And guess what? He does not make it to the podium. Stanik Jeanette ends up fourth. So Takeshi Honda wins the gold medal here in Quebec City. All the doubts about his shoulder, about his blisters. He skates in the free skate to go from second to first, and he wins the first Grand Prix gold medal for him of the season. Unfortunately, it was his non-scoring event. He won't pick up the 12 points for the gold, but Emmanuel Sandou gets 9 for the silver, Timchenko 7 for the bronze medal. Derek Delmore finishes 5th. He picks up 4 points, and Ryan Bradley, the youngster, ends up in 6th and picks up 3 points. But through 2 events, Emmanuel Sandou, 2 events, 12 points. His Grand Prix circuit is done now. Brian Joubert, the gold at Skate America, he has 12 points. Alexander App from Russia has 9. Matt Savoy tied for 4th with 7 points. On this Mobile One update, a report on Alexei Yagudin, the Olympic champion, who withdrew from Skate Canada because of a hip injury. Doctors have told him to take at least 3 to 6 weeks away from the ice to rest his hip. Timothy Gable, also withdrawing from his first 2 Grand Prix events because of a hip injury. He is back on the ice. He has resumed training. And Sarah Hughes, the Olympic champion, she has a muscle tear behind her right knee. Robin Wagner, her coach, tells us she is targeting a December USFSA event for her comeback. Don't forget, the ladies take the ice next, including Sasha Cohen, the 2-time U.S. silver medalist. She has the lead. But Fumie Saguri, the world bronze medalist from Japan, is right behind. The ladies are next.